pediment and face, and blending Art Deco and French Renaissance together. And there's a great story or legend that goes to this building. It's the financier, Samuel Insull, had a mistress, and she wanted to sing the Metropolitan Opera in New York, and I guess she wasn't that good. So Mr. Insull said, it's okay, you're good enough for me. Come back to Chicago and I will build you your own opera house. It's exactly what he gave her. Nicknamed Insull's Throne, due to his resemblance to a large armchair. And instead it turns to the Green Ivy, that's a Great Lakes building done in 1912 by Hollywood and Roche. And the building itself really isn't that important. What is important is the building's location. In 1860, Chicago was chosen as a host city for the Republican National Convention. And it's on the spot where a temporary structure back down in Springfield, Illinois. Visit Lincoln Home and the incredible Lincoln Museum. One of the best museums I've ever been to. Definitely worth the trip. And on your right, the building of green curving glass. It is 333 West Wacker. Done in 1983 by Code Patterson Fox. It's a good example of contextualism. It means the building is conforming to the environment. The large bend in the building reflects the wall. And on your right, 225 West Wacker. If you go all the way to the top, there's a bridge-like structure. It's meant to represent the building's location between the Franklin and Wells Street bridges. And speaking of Wells Streets, directly ahead of us, it went under a massive rehab project last year. They replaced both sections of the bridge, floated the new sections down the river on a barge, attached it to its mouth in just a few days. And I'm so happy they finally redid this bridge, because occasionally, pieces of it would actually flake off and fall on our boat. So you want to be able to walk all the way from Lake Michigan to 333 when it's all done. Well, down your right-hand side, the blue building, 60 stories. And it's going to be residential. It's a huge improvement over what used to sit here, which was an empty 10-story concrete shell. Sat there for 5 years, untouched. It was going to be part of the project intended to be 90 stories. Ricardo Bofield did this building, and he designed it, merging the classic elements of stone with the modern elements of glass. And at night, that white stonework is illuminated with white light. One of my favorite buildings to look at. And its neighbor at 55 West Wacker was done in the 1950s in the brutalist style. And that's really all I want to say about that building. Column features steel mullions in between each window, while drawing sunlight into the dark opposites. Some of Leo Burnett, a major advertising firm in the U.S., and they've given us characters like Tony the Tiger and Snapcrackle and Pop. And directly ahead of us is a building with a green base and gold top. Before I talk about that, I want to point out Vincent the suit guy is up there at State Street with a paint bottle. And it's parked on it right, one of the largest Vietnam memorials outside of Washington, D.C. And also on the right, the beige building, the dome of Belvedere, is a former jeweler's building. And that dome at the top was once home to the Stratosphere Club. Al Capone would frequent that club. And on the right, the tall buckskin skyscraper, that's Mather Tower, done in 1929 by Riddle and Riddle. And originally two identical buildings were planned. But 1929 was the start of the Great Depression. So the second one was canceled. On your right, the former London Guarantee Insurance Company building, done in 1923 by Alfred Oschler, in a neoclassical style. So there's Corinthian columns at the top, all playing to that neoclassical look. And it's undergoing renovation to open up as a new hotel. And we're going under 4 red stars and 2 blue stripes. That's a flag of Chicago. Each star represents part of our history. Fort Dearborn, the Great Chicago Fire, the World's Columbian Exposition of 1893, and the World's Fair 1933. The 2 blue stripes, the lake and the river, and the 3 white, the north, south, and west side. And so they might get a 5th star someday. Most likely when the Chicago Cubs finally win the World Series. Decent reaction. And coming up on our right, you're going to see a building with interesting balconies. Building with interesting balconies, that's Aqua, completed in 2009 by Judy Gang. And it represents the tallest building building the world designed by a woman who owns her own firm. Jean Gang was born and raised in the Chicago area, so she's also a homegrown architect. And if you walk up right next to Aquaman, straight up, oh, you'll see those white mountains protruding towards you. It's completely different than it is from your perspective. From your perspective, you view your Trump Tower behind the branch of the river. On the right is Lakeshore East, around 10,000 residential units, and it's going sewer. They dump all their waste into the river, and the problem was it flowed right out to Lake Michigan, which was and still is sourcing the city's drinking water. So you can see how this could become a major health problem, with all these contaminants mixing into water the city was drinking. So finally, in 1889, they decided to do something about this. And what they are doing is reversing the flow of the river by digging the Illinois Shipping Sanitary Canal 20 feet deeper than the depth of our river. So, needless to say, St. Louis was not happy. All their polluted water is not being sent down to them. So they sued Chicago, but compromised to build a water filtration plant. However, it said St. Louis got back at us by bottling that same water, selling it back as Budweiser. It's really my one good joke, so it's all downhill from here. Now after the river was reversed, there's yet another lawsuit. Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan were afraid of even draining the lake. They won that lawsuit. The result is directly ahead of us. So Chicago locked. It represents the only way to get from the Chicago River into Lake Michigan. And it's free for all boats to use and does not work in any schedule. So with the smallest boat, say a jet ski, can pull to the gate.